What's the good word, y'all? Jets Flight Squad in the building. DKBX Jets. We got Italy Jet, Gino from Everything NYJ, and we got Gunny Gumby of New York Jets Situation Report. We gladly appreciate you guys being here. And as always, we got a great one for you guys. A lot of fun. If you guys are feeling like us, you got to be, you got to be pacing through the crib. Will Smith crying memes.
What the hell are you talking
It's a big week, man. It's a big
man.
week. It's Patriots week, man. Like, other than Shark Week, there's no other week more exciting and more like long lasting than Jets versus Patriots week. It's one of those things where, as a fan base, we've been traumatized so much over the last 6 years of catching L's that we go from like believing we have a shot to being anxious about having the opportunity and then getting into the game day. And of course, we've seen how it ended the last 12 times we've played these guys. And here we are again. It's Patriots week. And of all the teams, I think that the Jets have played thus far and will play, this is the team that I think every single one of us wants to completely destroy. This is the team. It's not just about winning the game. Winning the game is going to be great. I'm going to love that. But if we could murder somebody during this game, I think the fan base, we would celebrate. And again, we're going to probably get backlash for saying some shit like this. But at the end of the day,
I don't give a Sorry.
I hate the New England Patriots.
Yes.
Not 1,000%. They need to be. There needs to be some level of mental destruction that's going on within the coaching staff ranks, within the players ranks, and within that fan base. And like, I would feel some kind of way going back and checking out the game if I don't see like 99.999% green and white fans within the building. Like, Patriots fans shouldn't even really be able to buy a ticket to get into the stadium.
Let's be honest. Patriots fans they're not known for traveling well. They'll travel well when they're winning. Winning, because there's a lot of them are big bandwagon fans. They want to go ahead and show off their little freaking blue jerseys. They're losing right now. They just got smoke checked by Chicago on Monday Night Football. Right. They're not going to be spending their money to go to the MetLife Stadium. And the fact that the stadium is sold out, bruh, if we see like you said, 0.1% blue, they should just go home. If it was me, I would be like, you know what? This ain't worth it.
It's not safe this way, bro. You going out in the street.
Just go home. If you win, it's not safe for you. If you lose, it's not safe for you. You just go home. Go to the local bar, watch the game there. You don't want to be at MetLife. Y'all saw the press conference today with Coach Obrecht. Oh my God. The one where they were asking him. Yeah.
I loved it. He's like, nah, I remember them running up the score. 40 points.
Yeah. 53 goddamn points.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, but it's my job to go ahead and stop them. I know that. It's the defense's job to go ahead and stop them. But I remember them being up 40 and then they were throwing bombs, throwing deep passes and whatnot to run it up on us. I remember everything. I remember it all. I can't wait for Sunday. And that was coach speak, right? Political terms. He's just doing what he has to do. In reality, what he was saying is, we're going to fuck them up. I cannot wait for us to get on the field on Sunday and murder somebody. And it's wonderful because you see, like, when they're asking the players the same questions, all they do is they chuckle. And I'm not going to lie to you. That's a wonderful sign. When your players are like, yeah, yeah, we remember what they did. And they're chuckling about it. Yo, that's a group of murderers getting ready to go on a rampage, and they're not afraid to do the time for it. They're not afraid to do the time for it. It's exciting. I cannot wait for Sunday to get here, man. I cannot wait. And I'm nervous at the same time. It's a weird combination of things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, Gunny, I think whoever doesn't know my history with this team, I'm going to give you a little background, and then I'm just going to say a bunch of cuss words, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. So I used to work for the St. Louis Rams, and my dad was there when that whole first scandal came out with the walkthrough and the video guy. And let me be honest, I was a little bit of a Rams fan and I'm a Jets fan because I was in St. Louis. In St. Louis, it was the greatest show on turf. You had all these great players leading up to it, and the scandal hits. And to this day, if you see Marshall Faulk on CBS or anywhere, he will say that, yes, they did cheat. Yes, he will firmly say it. Because of that, something was off. Yes. And now now the Jets have an opportunity right now to not only go into it and fuck them up, we have an opportunity to just give it to Belichick. He was with the Jets for 2 days and left. So fuck you. So now it's one of those things now. He ran up on 53 fucking points. And then you go cheat to get 3 Super Bowls. And then you did it to my dad. You know what my dad said to me? My dad said he's not a Jets fan. He says, go fuck him up. I'm like, oh, I'm going to fuck them up. We're going to fuck them up. I want to fuck them up. This is a sore subject in my household. This is a sore subject with history with me. I hate this team. I hate a lot of teams, and this is number one for me. I've been marking this on my calendar for a very long time. My wife is getting tired of seeing it on my calendar. So hopefully that could be erased this weekend to come up with the W. And I'm done. I'm scared too, just like Gunny,
brother.
But I'm done. I'm done.
If your wife was scared,
crap at it,
or if your wife was tired of seeing it on the calendar, bro. If the Jets get this W on Sunday, she's gonna think you're insufferable. Because I'm telling you right now, bro. My wife is gonna tell me go sleep outside because I'm going to be dreaming of the game and speaking in my sleep how we fucking destroyed this team. It sounds so sad to say it, but this will in essence be like the Super Bowl for Jets fans.
Yes.
If we go out there,
one of these away from me again.
Bro.
100%. We might end up having
I'm not dealing with this again. I'm not dealing with this again.
Twitter's going to get broken. I think this is the weekend that Twitter will get broken because if the Jets come out and they play the way they should play, because the Jets play Jets football the way they've been playing the last 5 games, we win this game, and it's not even close.
Yes.
I don't care if it's freaking Zappy Doodle, that's the quarterback. I don't care if it's Mac Jones. I don't give a crap.
Mac Jones in the beginning. We'll see if it comes in the end. We'll see.
And I don't know. I don't give a damn. It don't matter who they have out there at quarterback. This team does not have what it takes to stand toe-to-toe with this Jets team. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
But execution is what matters. This is the NFL.
Yes.
You got to execute.
Yes.
If you don't execute, anything can happen any given Sunday. But in actuality, this is the first time we can say as an organization, as Jets fans, we are by far the better team. It's not even close. And what makes it even better is before, what made the Patriots so terrifying was, okay, they could go ahead and pull some scrub off the street and somehow, some way, they'll make plays for you in a game.
Yeah.
They had that continuity in the freaking in the coaching staff to where they could do that. One of the strongest coaching staffs. Everybody talks about Bill Belichick this, Bill Belichick that. Whatever, man. He's got a losing record since Tom Brady left. Let's be honest. Tom Brady was an intricate piece to what made that organization that organization.
They were good for each other.
But, they were great for each other. Exactly. But having continuity in the coaching staff was also great. You got a defensive coordinator calling offensive plays.
Yeah.
Like what, you're pulling out a quarterback that was your freaking offensive player of the year, took you out of the playoffs last year, even though we all noticed towards the back end of the season, once freaking teams had enough tape on Mac Jones, you saw how limited he was, and he sucked literally from game 10 all the way down. He sucked. The defense was great, carried them into the playoffs. Then they got work in the playoffs. I digress. But now we're talking about there's no Josh McDaniels. He's gone. He's left. There's no offensive mastermind to go ahead and heighten the skill set of your quarterback. And you're trying to incorporate offensive game plans that you have nobody on that team that really, or that coaching room that understands offense. But we're going to figure this thing out. Some kind of hindrance of what we once did. We're going to try to do it here. We are going to destroy them because they don't even have the coaching continuity that made them a very, very scary and special force.
They don't know how to use their team. They don't know how
No
to use their
credit
team.
try to rebuild it. It's
You
a
have
weird
great tight ends,
situation.
and you don't know how to use them.
Facts. Two tight ends that we were all dying to get our hands on when they were free agents, freaking a couple years back.
Yeah,
And they've been ghosts all season. 25. I think it's like
So 25 to 26,
20 yards.
25 to 26
25,
for each of them.
Bruh,
How
it's
does
week,
that happen?
It's weeks. I don't understand it. They don't know what they're doing on offense. They don't. And our defense is better than their defense. Oh my God. If we don't go into this game on Sunday and we can play 50% of how we've been playing the last couple of games. We're going to need an uptick from Zach. I think we're going to need an uptick on the offensive side with freaking Brees Hall being gone. But 50% Jets right now could beat this team. We could never say that before.
If they get waxed, they got waxed the way they did by the Bears. And the way that I'm looking at it is for all the things we just said. Justin Fields and that offense has looked like one of the it reminds me, the NBA was recently talking about sending one of their worst 1 or 2 teams to like being an expansion team. And if that were to happen today in the NFL, it would be the Bears.
It would be the Bears.
It would be the Bears. And that offense. And so it's still to this day, nobody can name me a weapon on that Bears offense. Like
I can only think of
asking for anybody that's scary.
Gone, though, yeah.
Throw me 2 people, throw me 1 or 2 people out there, not named Mooney, on that offense that somebody can say we're concerned about. And people can't do it. So if they're able to wax them, I'm confident that we should be able to do the same thing because our pieces are better across the board by them. Zach Wilson may not be the most athletic person, but we've seen him break off 15, 20 yards. He can get it done. He can get the job done. So between what you were saying, Gunny, with like the coaching staff, I mean, I get what they were trying to do. Matt Patricia, Joe Judge were originally on the staff, but they were playing specialized roles. Joe Judge was a special teams coach. Matt Patricia was a defensive coordinator. And so I don't know what Bill Belichick is a man that can do many things, but at least in one season where you have greater expectations because of what was done, it doesn't make sense to me that you say, hey, we got a sophomore quarterback. Let's let this special team guy, Joe Judge, play a quarterback coach, and we'll let Matt Patricia play offensive coordinator. Or we'll switch it up because I hear, nobody still knows who really is doing the play calling duties. It's New England is in shambles over there, and it's funny to me because
it's a shit show.
We've been dealing with shit for so long with our losing ways that we've just been asking for some level of I don't want to say common sense. There we go, competency. We were just looking for something competent. Give us somebody that can find talent. Give us somebody that can groom and develop talent, right? That's it. We don't need superstars. I'm not asking for 11 all pros on the team. None of that. And our fan base is interesting. We have some characters out there that like make us look extremely bad. But in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of things, it's not like a complete nut house. But the New England Patriots fan base over there was like they are really showing they are not equipped to be losers in the NFL.
No, they're not. They're not, bro.
I mean, look at the show me and Gunny was on last. Was that last night? That was last night. Man, that was
last night. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, he's scared. He's scared, but like it's just so funny because, he's a realist. But he's scared.
He's real. That's very few Patriots fans and Dolphins fans can ever look at the game and be like, man, they're all like, oh my God, we've got Tua, he's MVP. I'm like, all right, my God, stop it.
Oh, we got
like,
Zappy.
Fever. And I'm like, I'm like, God, stop it. But that dude last night, I forget his name, and I feel bad because like he knows football.
Bobby Thompson.
Thank you, Bobby Thompson. And he was just like, look, that Jets freaking defense is real, and we don't know what the hell we're doing right now on offense. Yeah. And he was very articulate, and he broke it down. Yeah. And he doesn't believe in either quarterback. He was just like Zappy or Mac Jones. They both didn't show us much in that game. And
is he saying now, or does he not believe them with the success that Jones had?
He thinks Zappy's going to be better, but he does have no faith in Mac Jones.
Oh wow,
he likes Zappy much better than Mac Jones. That's what he said.
In all actuality, Mac Jones is a bum. Mac Jones' ceiling is what we saw last year. Ceiling. He will never, ever achieve that again because there's tape on him now. He's limited. He's limited. He's a dirty player. He can't read defenses. Like Mac Jones is limited. That back half of the season last year, I urge you guys to just go back. If you watch every Patriots game last year, Mac Jones terrified me. I was like, God damn. I had him ranked as one of the worst quarterbacks coming out of that draft. And like the first 8 games, you're like, bro, they found another Tom Brady. This can't be happening. Yeah. I wanted to go into hiding when I realized that this kid is the next Tom Brady. And then they started on a decline. They were winning games, but it was closer games. And it was more defensive than offensive. And then you're watching the games, and he's just making stupid mistakes. He can't get the ball downfield. And I was like, hold on, time out. He's human. And it just took adjustments to understand the game tape. This kid is limited. And you take like right now, I've been telling people right now, Tua, this past week, they're like, well, the Dolphins offense slowed down because of Tua. Tua did the exact same shit Skyler did. He played just like Skyler did, played just like Teddy did for the brief moment he played. Because the problem is in this offensive scheme, if you take away the crossing routes in the middle, they struggle. If you take away the deep timing routes for the Dolphins, they struggle. There's 2 types of routes that have made them successful early on in the season. And the moment defenses got enough tape and they were like, hold on, you know what? We're going to take that away and we're going to take that away. That's it. They have struggled to score points. And people are like, oh my God, no, Tua did the exact same thing that Skyler did. And don't tell me, oh, he was rusty because he came out swinging. Last on Monday, or was it Monday night? Monday Night Football. Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football. When he came out, I was like, man, he's looking pretty damn good. But then I realized real quick that was the crossing timing routes, deep timing routes. He needs to step back and get rid of the ball. It's not because he's reading defenses and whatnot. He already knows that's the spot I need to throw the ball to. I'm gonna take my two step drop back, launch it. Quick release, timing routes. You got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Great. Take it away. Make him improvise. I'm telling you, they're thinking 2 is back. Oh my God, it's gonna be great. All right, y'all won that game very luckily because 4 interceptions were dropped by the Steelers. The Steelers were just like, I don't want to win this game. We're trying to pick early in the draft next year. We're gonna keep dropping these interceptions, and that's what they did. They gave the game to the Dolphins. Mac Jones is very, very in that same mode, very limited. Take away the few things he can do good, he can't improvise. Bro, I think Zappy, if Zappy played, I would say it would probably be more of an interesting game if Zappy played. And I don't believe Zappy's that good either. I just think of the 2 quarterbacks, Zappy has shown more upside in a very, very small sample size, of course, than Mac Jones has. Because Mac Jones has been figured out. We figured him out. He's been figured out.
Well, and I think Zappy had the tools. Jones was always the mega mind.
Bro, I don't know, man. I'm not scared of their quarterbacks. I'm not scared of their wide receivers. I'm not scared. I'm scared of Judon.
Judon, yeah.
Judon. All right, I'm scared of Judon. That's who I'm scared of. That is it. Exactly. That's it. I look at that defense and I'm like, that man is scary. He can ball.
And the 2 Jones on the quarterback.
Oh, Jack Jones.
Because
but
the other Jones. Yeah, but here's the thing though. The Patriots have always done good. Yeah, but here's the thing though. The Patriots have always been good developing corners. And if this is one of those games where they bust out and do something against our wide receivers, then we're a little bit in trouble. Not all the way in trouble. We're a little bit in trouble. That's the only thing with Belichick that I'm worried about is the quarterbacks and Judon on that defense.
If they don't hit any big plays, I'm not worried. I think that's the only reasonable way is if we end up finally coughing up turnovers or if they somehow magically turn into 2012 Patriots or something and they're just tossing bombs left and right. Other than that, our cornerbacks versus any team in this league so far, I'm honestly giving the edge to us. It don't really fucking matter 100%. At this point.
100%.
Yeah, agree.
I guess to GVH's point and kind of the question he's raising, right? Ability to stop quick pass due to max limitations. Mac Jones doesn't really have a lethal arm, right? That's why he wasn't picked up, within the top 10. They considered him kind of like Tua coming out. He's cerebral. He can go out there if you have a timing offense, if you have a short to intermediate passing attack where you
strong offensive line.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you need a strong supporting cast around him to make things happen consistently.
Facts.
There's not going to be much.
Facts.
I guess it's a good point to kind of like what Robert Saleh was saying with our quarterback, right? You're not going to have to do the work for us. We're going to do the work for you kind of situation when it comes to developing like the Patriots quarterbacks. Because they don't have these elite physical tools or even like upper tier level tools, they're kind of maxed out as a physical player. The mental piece they can get a lot better in, but then still that means you're limited in what you can do. Can you attack all corners of the field? No. Are you strong at being able to attack the outside hashes and the numbers and go to those boundary plays and out routes and things? Nope. Probably not, which means it's a lot easier for a team to game plan around you. And so even with us, a lot of what we did that made us successful after about, let's say, week 3 was the fact that we were able to take away the boundary, a lot of the boundary routes for these wide receivers, either run them smooth out of a play or we just completely locked them down. And then we funneled a lot of the additional support inside to the middle of the field where we knew we were lacking. CJ Mosley maybe is losing a step. Quincy Williams, fires off like a rocket that's not necessarily targeting any one specific person. And we're not really sending blitzes and stuff. So we have the ability to kind of drop somebody back as a spy and do a couple of sneaky things. So I'm not concerned. To be honest, screw their whole offense. I don't see them being able to do much. I will be extremely happy. The shit should look like a Madden goal. Stop them under 200 yards, right? 200 total yards for the game.
Yep. And I think it's very, very feasible. Like, yeah, we took a hit on offense, but our defense is actually getting healthier. We're getting Jermaine Johnson back this game. Our secondary is healthy. We got a top 2 defensive backs in the NFL, right? They're in the top, I think now top 5. They're both in the top 5 now, right? In terms of their numbers. Our defensive line has played lights out football in the last 4 weeks, right? They had a bit of a stink show, so to speak, in terms of the Broncos game, but
I mean, we still got Quentin Williams had 6 hits, if I remember, and Carl Lawson had 6 hits, if I remember.
Lawson got 6, yeah, right. So I just look at this roster, and I've been watching these Patriots games, man, and like they're gonna tell you like, oh, don't get it twisted. We held the freaking Detroit Lions to donut. They were leading the league, and freaking, I'm like, the Detroit Lions are 1-5 for a reason. You're holding your this is our trophy. We held this 1-5 team to 0 points. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were leading the league in offensive points early on in the season. That's cute. What's that mean in the long term of things? Yeah. Because once you get enough tape on any team, you start to realize, okay, this is what they're doing. Because the Dolphins, they got the majority of their stats in the first 4 games of the season. What does that mean? So to me, they haven't faced anybody relevant, right? They got their 3 wins against freaking teams who are all below 500. They're at the bottom of the division right now. And I think we're going to be the biggest challenge they've encountered thus far this season. Call me a little biased. But they're not ready for it. They're just not. It made possible for us to see this past week against freaking the Chicago Bears, a bottom 5 offense, a bottom 5 defense. This team in every facet of the term is rebuilding.
And they don't have Quinn anymore. And they traded Quinn.
Bruh.
That hurts them.
Did he even play? Bruh, this team is not looking to win this year. They have no intention of winning this year, and they smoked you in your house. Beat the dog shit out of you that was an assault. That was an assault in your house by people who shouldn't have been on the same field as you. That's what made it so funny and comical to me. So to see like these Patriots fans especially talk so much, and I'm like, what do you got? And the first thing they'll tell you is, what have the Jets done? They haven't done anything. The Jets haven't done anything. And I'm like,
oh my God, I know.
Neither have y'all. You're anything. It's Tom Brady left. They're like, oh, well, we've won championships. Don't do that. You just tell us what we've done. We're talking about the now, and yet you're bringing up championships from freaking 5 years ago.
It's all what you've done for me lately. It's always what have you done for me lately,
bruh.
Always.
Look, those championship banners, that freaking legacy y'all had. Yeah, y'all had a hell of a run, But it's over. It's over. Tom Brady's don't just grow on trees, bruh. That's not how that works. It is over, and they're gonna stroke. Like you said, they're not built to lose. The majority of this fan base have been winning their whole lives. their whole adult lives, their whole fan lives. A lot of them are bandwagon fans that just jumped on board. They don't know how to lose. They can't accept losing. We were built from this freaking losing shit. We've endured it. We've seen it. You know what I'm saying? We know what it looks like. And I'm telling you, the Patriots look like losers. They're not ready to see it yet, but it's okay. We're going to learn them today. It's going to be a good time. I'm telling you, the only way we lose this game on Sunday is if the Jets don't show up.
Exactly.
Pure fact.
Hey,
if they don't show up, we lose.
Yeah. Hey, what I've always said this before, and I'm still sticking with it. The Jets never before can beat the teams that don't have chemistry at the moment. And now, since we did it against Green Bay, we did it against the Broncos, we can do it against the Patriots. This is just only going to prove, and we can go up against the Bills, and you never know what's going to happen with that. But that's for next week. But it would look good if we beat them, a team that's not good right now, to just keep proving people otherwise. Like that's what it is. Pounce on the teams that don't have chemistry, and we just got to do that. I like this comment, by the way. I was in the Broncos game. I have a real problem with some of Michael LaFleur's play calls. He gets cute sometimes, especially on third down. Okay, listen, I understand about third down. I
got to argue with it.
I understand about third down, but I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what you guys want here.
Yeah. So I want to kind of strangle a lot of this Jets fan base when they keep working on Mike LaFleur, because it don't matter how. All right, God damn it, because look, this is literally the best coaching staff, from head coach to coordinators to position coaches, that we've had like ever. I'm including time Chad Pennington quarterbacking, Mark
even
Sanchez,
with Rex Ryan era.
But we were riding on veteran talent and a defense. So literally the best competent coaching staff that we've had. Has Mike LaFleur been
across
perfect?
The board?
No. But when you take a look at the breakdowns on first downs, which is when we generally love to play, we have not been that successful. We get 2 to 3 yards on average, which means on second down, which is when you generally want to convert and move the chain so you don't have to rely on third down conversions. We're forced into pass plays. So people say, oh, he gets pass play heavy too often. That has not been the case since Joe Flacco hasn't had the quarterback things, when we were losing about 98% of the time during every game. Since things have been balanced, Zach Wilson's come back. Our run game's been strong. Our defense finally got his stuff together. Credit to Jeff Ulbrich, who also has been getting heated the hell up. Mike LaFleur has put this offense in more situations than situations where Zach Wilson and the offense will fail. And to be honest, there's a good portion of this failure that goes to Zach Wilson. There's a lot of reads. You can look at Jets X Factor. You can look at Play Like a Jet. If you want to check your own All-Pro 22 tape, if you know how to break down offenses and look at it, you can see Zach Wilson literally has quite a few check down options on any given play. One straight in the middle, generally sitting in the middle of the field. That's usually where we see Michael Carter come up, where he has to check down to the left or the right. Sometimes Mike LaFleur does not do a great job of picking up blitzes that are coming, but there's generally an out for Zach Wilson that he either gets pressured, and we know what happens when he gets pressured. Irregardless, though, Mike LaFleur has actually done a very phenomenal job with this offense. We're waiting to see Zach Wilson catch up to where everybody feels like he should be, which, keep in mind, and everybody's harped on it at this point, he literally just finished his 17th game. His official second year is just now starting. Scary, because it's against the Patriots, and we know they've been, terrorizing our damn quarterbacks for the better part of 7 years now. Mm-hmm. But LaFleur's done a great goddamn job. We need to put some respect on that man's name. Again, things have not been absolutely perfect, but statistically, if you want to break it down, if you know football and how offenses are built, and I got to figure out how I'm going to do this one day for one of our future streams, but I was taking a look at an article that kind of went back through his coaching tree history, and he's talking about one of the key parts of how a lot of these coaches get named an offensive mastermind for him is because the coaches before him, the Shanahans, they had them drawing up plays, on the board and an Adobe Pro, whatever they want to use on their iPads, drawing up plays. I don't think people play Madden, they think this shit's easy, but do you understand all the intricacies of doing one goddamn play? Do you know what you want to target on first down against a defense that you're playing against and what their strong suits are versus
your adjustments?
Yeah, it's a whole lot that goes into the shit. And
each
play, Mike LaFleur,
he's
good in my book.
Each play on average has 3 to 5 out options. 3 to 5. And that's designed into each play. Like, it's not just like, oh, they're lined up. There's 3 to 5 out options. Now, and in this offensive scheme, it is complex because you're supposed to be able to read those options within that 2.5 second window, which is what it's catered around. Yo, Zach is still young. Like, no matter how we want to go ahead and talk crap about Zach, like, we've been spoiled as a fan base. Because of Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, right? Because those guys just lit it up when they freaking came out. The fact of the matter is,
by the way, because I keep reminding people of this, he didn't play his first year.
You're right. He sat. You're right. He sat.
Alex Smith.
But people will never admit that. People will just be like, "Oh, he started playing." Well, that was also year 2. He got to sit down and watch and learn the game. But people will tell you when he first got on the field, he freaking lit it up. All right, cool, whatever. But the thing is, this is the NFL. This is not fantasy football. This isn't Madden where you can go ahead and just add attributes and you just freaking the whole like I think Madden kind of ruined it too. We're like, oh, superstar trait to freaking learn everything. Like that is not real life. The average quarterback in the NFL to get going, it's going to go into mid-year 2 to year 3. That's the average NFL cycle of a good quarterback. Like Peyton Manning. Y'all would have given up on Peyton Manning his first year? Y'all would have given up on Peyton Manning his first year in the NFL.
Andrew
Josh Allen.
It goes on.
It goes on.
The third year, second year is the year to get better. Learn the chemistry. Learn the book. He's been injured.
Third year, you see it all. Bro, the thing is, it infuriates me because they all literally well, Justin Herbert did it. Patrick Mahomes, that's their go-to. And I'm like, bro, Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 freaking years before he freaking saw an NFL field. What are you talking?
Behind this,
the logic is this: the kid has the arm talent. The kid has the arm talent. He's doing what he needs to do to win games. But we're upset. We're upset because we didn't see him light it up for 300 yards and 5 TDs. What are we doing? We were in freaking NFL purgatory. We're 5-2. We're complaining because we don't like how it's being done. Oh, man, I'm not saying Zach Wilson's the guy. For the record, I am not saying Zach Wilson's the guy. All I know is this.
Yeah.
When he's been asked to elevate his game, we've seen flashes of special. We've seen that kid make throws 5 other quarterbacks in this league can make. Yes, we need to see it more consistently. Yes, we need to see him carry the team to know, if the defense has a bad game or the running game is non-existent, we know our quarterback gives us a chance. We cannot say that right now, which is fair. I will give you that. But to blatantly label him a bust or that he sucks because we're winning in ways that doesn't make you happy because it's not pretty enough for your fantasy football stats or whatever you've seen on Madden, this is insane, man. Zach Wilson, we don't know what we have in Zach Wilson. It's literally he played his first full season this past Sunday.
It's too early.
What are we doing, man? We've come from NFL purgatory to this, man. We're 5-2, bro. We have we're tied for the second best record in the AFC. And our own fan base. I get the Miami Dolphins fans talking crap. They're desperate. They're trying to find any reason they can. I get Patriots fans talking crap. You know what I realized? Bills fans don't talk crap. They don't unless we talk crap first. When you're up and you're winning, you don't deal with freaking the peasants. And we as a fan base, we're so accustomed to being on the bottom, defending ourselves, looking up, that we feel like we need to go ahead and just entertain the freaking Patriots and the Dolphins, both of which are behind us. We're up looking down at them.
People also have a hard time being confident in our record because it feels like at any moment we can suddenly fall off the rails and, we go from 5
Yeah.
5 and
Yeah, and I understand that.
and
I
9.
understand that.
It's crazy.
That. That's fair. And
Fair.
that's fair because we've been hit with that so many times, bro. Like I can even understand when a fan tells me that, bro, man, I don't know. It's too good to be true. Like I have moments. I won't lie. I won't pretend like I don't have moments in games where I'm looking and I'm like, man, we not looking good. Here we go again. I have had those moments. And you're lying if you haven't had them. We're human.
Right.
We've been conditioned
human.
from the last decade to feel this way. So I
think
100% get that.
Huge difference, though. We've always relied on a more veteran-heavy team, and I think that's the critical jump that across with this staff. The rosters at this point, I would probably say, with some of the extra vets we brought in, let's just say 75% skewed towards rookies and sophomore year players, which is still more than we've ever had. It's more than we've ever had. The closest
100%.
we've gotten is maybe 35% of the roster, and all of those players weren't even playing on team. It'd be like a Stephen Hill or a Calvin Pryor maybe, and then everybody else from rounds 2 through 7 might get sprinkled in, and then the rest of the people will flame out and we never see them, right? I mean, for every it's been hard to even say how many successful players we've had from a draft in the last 7 years is, because I'm trying to think.
Not many.
And make a comparison.
Not many at all.
But for every Muhammad Wilkerson we might have had, there's been at least a fucking dozen goddamn Calvin Pryors, goddamn what's the cornerback that could have been really good for us that had flamed out?
D. Milner.
D. Milner. Thank you.
I really like that kid, bro. I thought we had Milner.
Me too.
I think we still could have. Injuries really screwed him over more than performance.
Exactly.
This is true. He didn't play much.
Irregardless,
because the kid had all the physical tools, high IQ, but he couldn't stay healthy, man. And
facts. So it's different to me. I think that's kind of where I'm at. If we fail, it depends on how we're going to determine fail. But let's just say we can't reach the playoffs consistently. We're kind of stuck in purgatory where we're a middle tier team. Maybe we go 8-9 or 9-8 every season, something like that. Bruh. I'll consider it a fail, but it would be more so at this point on the coaching staff and not necessarily hey, well, we didn't replace the veteran guys that were making plays in time. And so now, we're starting over again.
The thing is this, though, right? I think that
I agree with Brian.
If you're a Jets fan, that tells me that you thought at this point of the season the Jets would have the second best AFC freaking record. You're a liar.
Facts.
You're a liar. I don't even think the most positive Jets fan could not have fathomed that at this point of the season, about to face off against the Patriots, the New York Jets would be tied for the second best record in the AFC. Actually, the fourth best record overall in the NFL. There's no way you could have predicted that. So the playoffs right now, yes, we've had to move the goal line because what I said, 8 to 9 wins, I said we're fighting for a playoff spot come December. That's where I was at. Yeah. But now I'm it's ours to lose that wild card spot. I firmly believe at this position, that wild card spot is ours. We can lose that if we choose to lose that. So you got to move the goalpost a little bit. But to consider it a failure, though, when in reality the majority of this fan base felt 8 to 9 wins, we won our Super Bowl this year because we would have done it with the third youngest roster in the entire NFL. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing I've heard from everybody, I just want to know if Zach Wilson is it. As long as we can see progression from Zach Wilson, that's all I needed to know. We've seen progression from Zach Wilson. People don't like the way it's looked. But Zach Wilson slowly from the first 4 games of his NFL career last year where he threw the majority, I think it's 80% of his interceptions came from the first 4 games he's ever played.
Yeah.
That's progression. You saw him throw 2 in the Steelers game. But when you go back and you watch it, did he really throw 2? Or did his players kind of fuck him over? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think one of those pass, if I remember, and I think
passed by Conklin.
Coverage,
the other one, the other one was okay. So when you watch the tape back, right? Apparently, the route that was supposed to be ran was supposed to pull Elijah Moore was supposed to pull his DB into the back of the end zone. That should have left it open for Jeff Smith to get that corner route it was a bad throw. It was a good read, bad throw. But what made it an interception? was freaking Elijah Moore did not carry his guy into the end zone like he was supposed to. So his cover man looked up and thought, oh, I can peel off of my guy because I'm still within range. Got the interception. Otherwise, it would have been an incomplete pass. If you watch that tape again, bro, and it pissed me off when I realized, like, damn, Elijah Moore literally gave up on the go route because he didn't take his guy into the end zone. Yeah. And his guy peeled off of him, got the INT. Otherwise, it would have freaking been an incompletion. Ugly. It was still a bad pass. There's no way to answer, but still a bad pass. But the read was right because the whole point was to get to that corner route to go ahead and give Jeff Smith a chance. But he didn't get it out further enough for Jeff Smith to have that chance, and oh boy, peeled off. But nonetheless, 2 interceptions. Exactly, bro. 2 interceptions. I got it. But one of them, tip pass by Conklin. I'm sorry, bro. It was a little bit high. It hit both of your hands. You're an NFL tight end. Catch it. And if you're not going to catch it, don't pop it up into the air. We would appreciate that. Help out your quarterback. And then the other one, I'm gonna go 50-50 on the other one. Zach Wilson, better throw. And then Elijah Moore's DB never has a chance to pick it off. But nonetheless, I'm going to go 50-50. But even still, you're talking about one interception that's really his fault in 5 games he's played this year. And then people keep saying, well, he's got more interceptions than touchdowns. So you're telling me if Breece Hall extends his arm freaking for a combined 2 yards, it makes it better. It looks Zach Wilson's much better quarterback because those 2 yards that he didn't extend his arm to get him 2 touchdowns, now he's a bad quarterback. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Watch the games. Watch the games.
And it's also one of those things where Zach Wilson is playing catch up. He's got an injury that he had. Yep. He's still trying to learn everybody's chemistry. And I know people are like, hey, everyone's like, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? We don't know. We'll find out at the end of the season if he's the guy. If he can go up into big games, he's fighting for a wild card, we'll know. It's just right now, we got to focus on the Patriots. Take it week by week, man. Week by week. Everyone will get better. Everyone will get there, but it's week by week, man.
The rest of our schedule, as we all know, have admitted, is not that terrifying, with the exception of the Buffalo Bills. They're probably the scariest part of on our roster. In order for us to take
the Vikings to me, I never know with the Vikings.
Dalvin Cook is scary. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. With Kirk Cousins, bro, you never know. You're right. The Vikings are somebody we can't sleep on.
They're competitive.
You're 100% right. You're right. I'm just saying this, though. The Buffalo Bills, again, no Jets fan thought we were going to have a shot against the Buffalo Bills. I think the majority of us thought, like, that's a sweep. 0-2. No, easy day. But if Zach Wilson is able to go ahead and play the way he played against Tampa last year, the way he played against the Titans last year, in Buffalo, with our defense playing the way they're playing, there's a very real chance with the increase in talent that we now have, vice what we had last year, we are competitive in those games. And I got to ask you guys this question. If Zach Wilson goes toe-to-toe with Josh Allen and we still lose 2 freaking games, is he not our guy?
No, I think that's good. In the offseason, I was like, I think we can go if we're hot at the right time. I think we can beat the Bills once. But if we're not hot at the right time, then we go 0-2. So if we're hot at the right time and stay toe-to-toe with Josh Allen, I think we're getting there at least. I think we're getting close because you got to still fight for a playoff spot, right? We still got to see what he's got at the end of the year. I don't judge anything until the end of the year. So I just think if it's toe-to-toe and if we're hot at the right time, then I think we're getting there. What do you think, Banks?
It's a no for me. So here's why.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Here's why. Okay. So over the years, we haven't had a quarterback that's really known for anything other than being turnover prone, injury prone. Basically, that's the 2 labels that we get, right? Fumble prone, running in the ass cheeks and fumbling is crazy. Yeah. So what I'm actually looking for this go around is there something consistently that Zach Wilson can hang his hat on? Right now, we have the fact that he does not commit turnovers anymore. I can live with that and work with that as a starting basis all day. One of my favorite running backs, I get it, not same position, but Ben Jarvis Green Ellis used to be a monster for the Patriots. Man, never fumbled. You give him the ball 1,000 times, it's not touching the ground, right? And you can build an offense around that. He was still 1,000-yard rusher. True. He was still contributing in the receiving game. That's an excellent starting base for that. But then I need to see something paired with that, right? Can you consistently decimate a team in the short passing game at least? Can you elevate the game of your running backs in the receiving game? Is intermediate part of your part of the field your ball game? Or statistically, Zach Wilson actually isn't too bad with the deep ball, at least this year. But I want to see him be able to hang his hat on something consistently, because then you can build around that. Okay, we're comfortable with him doing deep ball passes. Let's work on his timing routes now, or let's work on his half field reads, full field reads. Let's work on his pre-snap recognition, something like that. So when I can see something like that consistently happening from game to game, I can say, all right, this is my guy. Even if he never becomes that superstar Josh Allen type level, there's a lot of guys that you would say that you can build a team around right now, or players that you would plug and play into this offense right now, and you would say without a doubt AFC Championship.
That's a good point. That's
all I'm looking for.
Very point. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw this, man. There was a diagram of Zach Wilson when he has a clean pocket versus when he has to face pressure.
I seen.
And bro, like I didn't think it was that good until I saw it, and I'm like, there's no way this is accurate. Then of course, what you gotta do, I gotta go back and I'm watching tape now, and I want to go ahead and see where they're getting these freaking numbers and plots from. This is fake news. No, Zach Wilson is disgustingly deadly in the clean pocket. It's disgusting. Like they are not lying. Aaron Rodgers level disgusting with the clean pocket. And then he's net 0 yards.
Yeah, he's like the worst quarterback in history when he's pressured.
Literally in history. And bro, I'm like, God damn, man. Like, all right, so can we live with a quarterback that if our line can block 50% of the time is going to be just disgustingly deadly, and then the other 50%, like, man, good luck. See what happens. Like, there needs to be a balance, right?
Yeah.
There has to be a balance, because this is the NFL. You're not going to always have a clean pocket. You're going to have to deal with pressure. So if Zach Wilson's inability to deal with pressure, which is kind of weird because what was known for last year anyway was creating outside of the pocket when things collapse, his ability to improvise. So this year, seeing him go a different route kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like, he's usually good improvising. Is it a deal breaker if he's not able to get this pressure situation in control? And because you can't guarantee this man a clean pocket. Even if we had Mekhi Becton, freaking Elijah Vera-Tucker, George Fant, you could have a healthy freaking offensive line. Pressure is still going to happen. It's just these other guys, these on the defensive side, are paid too. They're hungry too. They're going to eat as well. You can't just assume when those two men line up, like, yeah, we might have the better guy. They're not going to be able to protect Zach every single play. So, like, does that put us in a situation where if he can't figure out how to deal with pressure, that's a liability, because that's a weapon for teams to use against us. Create pressure, whether it's the blitz, however you got to create it. He cannot function when he's under pressure. Like, does that not scare you guys? That scares me.
I think it's the severity of how bad it is. But then again, like, I try to take a look at a lot of the situations, and one of the things I was researching that stuck out to me the most, and this kind of goes into Mr. Magic's question here about, why are we always rolling out to the left to a certain degree? It's the way that we're missing. Let's say, because he's something, the stat line was crazy. It's something like he's completing maybe like 27% of his passes or something like that, right?
Yeah,
so let's say half of that is inaccuracy, right? The other half would be, and you can see this in like the last 3 game tapes, is when he's on a lot of these rollouts and stuff, which, keep in mind, this is what LaFleur has mentioned since preseason. He's excited to get with this offense. Bootlegs, rollouts, because he's seen what Zach Wilson can do off schedule. And even though it's within what we're looking for, if something breaks down on a rollout or a bootleg, there's a lot of there's a lot of things you can do to manipulate the defense at that point because it's almost like a free play for you. So the rollout of some stuff makes sense, Magic, in terms of why he's doing it, why he might skew to the left a little bit more. Who knows? That gets into the caveat of whatever the hell coaching schemes and numbers and analytics that they're looking at. But well, I guess it makes sense when you look at the alignments and like who we have there and who's blocking and stuff like that. It makes a little bit of sense. But also, you're probably more secure in rolling over to Dwayne Brown's side rather than rolling over to Cedric's. Because keep in mind, we haven't had Max Mitchell, we haven't had Jordan in a while. But yeah, it's like a little bit of inaccuracy. And then when you take a look at a lot of these like bootlegs and rollouts that he's doing, all of the passing concept plays are going to one side of the field because obviously you're limiting yourself to that side. And he ends up looking the complete opposite way. And so you miss wide open receivers immediately with maybe a 1 second, 2 second window that you have. It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know if it's a fact that maybe he doesn't have full mastery of the playbook, like kind of, hints and, minor pieces of information have been put out there in the beginning of the season. Or is it truly just at that point in the game, he's kind of been, overwhelmed with the defensive coverages and what he's seeing and like different things like that. So those ones I can't forgive. It doesn't make any sense that you understand where all your routes are ending up because they're only on one side of the field and your eyes are in a completely separate direction. Those are the kind of things that if he can't eliminate, it doesn't matter if I start seeing him throw for 304 touchdowns the rest of every game this season, I'd be concerned.
Okay, that's fair. Brian makes a very good point, man. Plays take too long to develop. Quick plays make O-line better in pass pro. And I will agree with Brian 1,000% because you saw this early on with the Miami Dolphins in terms of the quick, like the first 4 games of the season, Tua was getting the ball out of his hand between 1.5 and 2 seconds of snapping the ball. Quick developing routes and in that offensive scheme, all you're doing is you're aiming for a point. You know where the wide receiver is supposed to be, and that 2 second window is supposed to allow you. And you saw a very efficient and effective freaking Miami Dolphins freaking offense. One that was very scary. One that we were looking at as Jets fans, like, damn, freaking somehow, some way, you know what I'm saying? McDaniel figured out how to implement this offense, and we're still trying to figure it out. Like, I was very, very salty about it. But then I'm realizing now, in hindsight, that they focused on that just pretty much predominantly, which is why now they're struggling a little bit on the offensive side.
Question.
So, what's good?
Hold on. Go ahead and finish your point, though. But, I got a good one for you that'll feed into it.
Okay. So what Brian is saying, I think, makes a lot of sense. Like, why not take advantage of some quicker developing routes to get Zach comfortable with just, getting the ball out of his hands? Because once he gets comfortable and gets going, we've seen this dude do amazing things, man. Like that
the last
quarter
6
against
games
the
last
Steelers.
Year. The last 6 games last year.
I
was
just
a believer
needs to get comfortable.
When he did all that. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm with Brian 100%. I think some quicker developing plays would make not only allow the freaking us to move the chains, but it's going to make Zach feel comfortable, man. He doesn't need to have happy feet and whatnot. He knows, okay, plays are working. I can get the ball out. He needs to get into a rhythm. Let's be honest. Zach in a rhythm is terrifying. We saw him do it last year. We've seen him do it against the Steelers in the fourth quarter. Got into a rhythm. Couldn't miss. He could not freaking miss. And I think quick developing routes would allow him to go ahead and get to that point.
All right. So a couple things then to pose. One question, a couple points with it. All right. So the quick passing plays, they make a lot of sense, but there's essentially, if you do quick passing, there's 2 ways to get it off. It's the timing routes, right? Obviously, you got your crosses, you got your slants, you got, receivers coming out of the backfield, maybe on a shorter wheel route, things like that, plays to the flats. Or if you don't want to go the timing route way, that means that you have to do a little bit of trickery within the offense, which means you run bunch formations, you spread them out, you have route concepts where another receiver is still running a legitimate route, but then he's essentially impeding the path of like another defender to scheme them open, right? So there's 2 issues that I have with it. One, it doesn't work either way necessarily for us, because if we do the bunch formations and things like that, that still means that we're taking one of the players prematurely out of the offense, at least temporarily, to scheme one specific person open. I don't want Zach Wilson turning into the quarterback that's going to key in on one target every play, because then that doesn't help his progression. The second thing would be the timing routes is what we would ideally love to see, but Zach Wilson has not been good accuracy-wise enough to throw his receivers open, is the best way I can put it. Because he's failing there, it doesn't make any sense to sacrifice those kind of plays when you could potentially try to hit big. And keep in mind, we're running a lot of deep concepts, but it's not like we're looking to attack the deep part of the field a whole bunch.
Right.
So it's kind of a toss-up. What does Mike LaFleur do? Do you just keep operating this short passing attack and hoping that Zach Wilson's accuracy finds its way back, or he learns and improves on how to throw his receivers open? Or do you take the opportunity to say, hey, we can get this big hit here, and then we'll figure it out. We'll do some run plays, or maybe he'll capitalize on a few short passing attacks in the red zone.
So for me, I think that when you're thinking about the deep concepts, like we know in the NFL, those deep concepts, it dramatically decreases the chances of completion, right? It dramatically decreases the chances of achieving the outcome. Those short routes allow you to get the ball. They're in essence extended plays. And for me, it will be the timing routes. I'm not a big fan of the bunch formations because you're right. It does eliminate options when hey, listen, it's going to be freaking Barrios. Barrios is your guy. Freaking get the ball to Barrios. Like, I don't want that, because then you miss an opportunity potentially for somebody who doesn't fall for the freaking block, right? A defender that decides to go ahead and jump the block or shed the block. Then what do, right? Now your quarterback's like, oh my God, I got to throw it away. And I don't like that at all. It's the timing routes. I think if you can get Zach Wilson to go ahead and just understand, you don't even need to be that accurate in terms of like throwing a receiver open. Timing routes, 2 steps, throw it there. Throw it right there. And when you do that, Elijah should be there. When you do that, Garrett Wilson should be there. If they're practicing those timing routes early on, it's just going to get him in the rhythm and comfortable. Now, the thing that Zach Wilson does well, I do believe, is those freaking beautiful throws downfield to go, those chunk plays that piss off and frustrate defensive coordinators, defensive backs, because he's able to go ahead and make adjustments, point a receiver to go one way, and get the ball to him. I'm just saying, like, seeing us go freaking, 3 and out, the first 2 drives, while we're understanding and grasping where we're going to go with the ball, is where I'm frustrated. A quick timing route, or we don't need Zach to think. Okay, you've got 2 options. You're either going to go here because freaking Garrett Wilson's going to be there, or you're going to go here because Elijah is there. We would prefer this be read 1, this is read 2. Give him 2 options, 3 options max in terms of timing, and then get the ball to that spot, right? That's what 2 was doing. 2 was not – that's what – when you go back and you watch a lot of these, oh, my God, he's so anticipating. He's anticipating that. No, he's not. He knows in this time frame, I got to get the ball to that spot, and he's really good at doing that. I won't take that away from Tua. He is really, really good at knowing, okay, I got to get the ball to this spot, and that's accuracy galore. Like, he's able to go ahead and do that money. You disrupt it, and that's when you start to see stuff like, what you saw on Sunday night. For Zach, that has the arm strength and the zip and the ability, I just think, boom, count in your head 2 seconds, you're throwing it here. Count in your head 3 seconds, you're throwing it there. Like, just throw it to a spot. Let your guys get the ball. Yeah, man, I would rather him not think too much. And it sounds messed up to say that because he's supposed to be our franchise quarterback. But right now we're seeing him overthink stuff. I mean, I watched the play last week against Denver where he had a wide open Tyler Conklin in front of him, and he like pump faked it like 3 times before he finally threw it to him. There was nobody. Bro, did y'all see that play?
I talked about this play, bro.
Yeah, so
we lost like 12 yards maybe easily.
Thank you. Easily. He gave the defender a time to realize, oh, shit, Conklin is not covered. I should get over there. And then he threw it. And I was like, what is he? And I'm realizing he's still overthinking stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, man, we got to, again, I had to remind myself he's young. Maybe I'm making excuses because I do love this kid's arm talent. But we all knew the biggest concern about Zach Wilson was going to be cerebral. Could the game slow down for him coming from BYU, smaller school? And it might take a while longer. But the work ethic has been there, right? We all know the arm talent is there. Unfortunately, he was the best player on the field at BYU. This is the NFL, bro. Like, everybody on the field is really, really good. And that split-second hesitation allows a freaking defensive back all the time they need to close on the play. I saw him literally, he just double pumped it. I'm like, Conklin is wide. What are you doing? And then he threw it. Boom. Conklin got tackled. And and at that play, I know it's a small sample size, but it showed me that somehow, some way, he's still overthinking it. And for the record, the throw was perfectly thrown ball. Like, it was a nice thrown ball. Before, he would have freaking overthrew him by like fucking 10 yards, whatever. But like, it just, you got it through the first, when he first saw him, before he brought it back, bro, 10 to 12 yards easy. And you took that away from your playmaker, no yak ability, because by the time you realize, oh, yo, he is in fact open, the DB was like, oh, he's looking at Conklin. Damn, he's open. And that's all you need in this league. That 1 second, 1.5 second delay is all a player on the defensive side of the ball needs to go ahead and close a gap. And so that's why I'm so keen on the timing rocks, DK. But you're right, though. We shouldn't be wanting that for our quarterback because it does limit him. It does. And it forces him to get tunnel vision as to where all I got to do is this. And the stuff that he has like wowed us in, those nice chunk plays that he gets, like the Corey Davis freaking comeback routes, the cut in, like those things are beautiful. And it would kind of limit that. But that Tyler Conklin play, man, made me really it worried me. I was just like, God, what the fuck? They couldn't get more open than that, bro. Like, he couldn't get more. The three of us see that, we're throwing the ball 9 out of 10 times. We're throwing the ball, right? And we don't have, you know what I'm saying, NFL level freaking, arm strength and arm talent. And he hesitated, bro. Like, that worried me a lot. I won't lie. It worried me a lot. And for me, that's why I wanted to say, you know what? This is game 17 for him. He's still young. Right. Let's just eliminate as much of the thinking that he needs to do and just simplify where he needs to go with the ball.
100%. It'll be interesting when we get closer to whenever it's exciting to say the end of our season because it's not looking like it's going to stop in November. But
yeah, I am pumped about that.
You can get closer to playoff time and kind of get somewhat of a break and take a look back and review because the coach that's been flying under the radar quite a bit has been the position coach Rob Calabrese, and take a look at kind of what he's done where we're seeing the progress. So it'll be interesting to see that kind of conversation. But I guess to Brian's point here, that's why we got 2 tight ends and running backs that can catch, right? Yeah, I mean,
facts.
Kudos to Joe Douglas for surrounding him with all the talent that he can, because I don't think anybody looked at any of these players that we brought in and said, hey, this is not sufficient enough, right? So ultimately, it's still going to be up to LaFleur. It's still going to be up to Calabrese. Ultimately, still up to Zach Wilson to go out there and get things done. So, I mean, we'll see. Worst case scenario for me, I have no problems whatsoever waiting unless Zach Wilson's not showing like some kind of consistent growth. I have no problem waiting out his entire rookie contract to decide this is our guy.
I'm with you, but it's also one of those things where last year he didn't have really much weapons. He targeted specific people. He targeted Davis a lot, Moore, Berrios, and then he had Carter, but he didn't have all the weapons that we had now. We didn't have tight ends last year. It's one of those things where even with the BYU thing, you look at all these quarterbacks in the NFL. Mahomes went to Texas A&M, and Dak went to a small school. It's in some of these quarterbacks that are coming out of these big schools don't really develop into good quarterback careers. So it's one of those things. So it's one of those things where he's coming from BYU. You'll face against some teams that are good, some teams that are bad. But Gunny said he was the best player on his team, and he has. I think he's just used to playing with talent that's like, mediocre, right? So it's now he's coming into a team that has so many other more weapons, and the short passes, not good. But he's scrambling. I mean, I kind of like when he scrambles because, like, I love the wheels on him. You show the last 6 games last year, scored a couple touchdowns this year with that. I like that for the short passes. If they can continue to get better and the chemistry continues to grow and get off of that BYU stuff, I think we'll be fine. But I won't make my judgment until later this year.
I got you. So if we point this, because it's kind of heading in that direction anyway, it's for everybody that clicked in, elite players for the Jets. Do we feel like we have any? Offense, special teams, defense, don't matter.
Yes. God, yes.
Yeah.
I'll Sauce Gardner, elite. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Sauce Gardner has the IQ, the intangibles, the tangibles. The kid is a rookie. He's leading the league right now in passes defended. And in all actuality, the only thing missing from his repertoire, his game skill, is the ability to go ahead and track that ball and intercept it. No wide receiver has been able to separate from him. No wide receiver has been able to go ahead and break him down in terms of the route running. He's able to go ahead and match and mirror, which is so difficult to do at 6'3". Like, this dude is a freaking alien. It doesn't make sense that he's able to adjust on the fly the way he is, match and mirror receivers route running, because the thought process is wide receivers have the advantage because they know where they're going to go. They know where they're going to go. The DB is supposed to go ahead and figure it out, and there's supposed to be that hesitation, that delay before they can catch up, but he doesn't have that. And even if you do happen to beat him the way Jamar Chase did against their game, his closing speed is ridiculous. The dude is a freak of nature. Sauce Gardner,
They forgot.
elite.
He run 4.44, right?
4.43. It was low 4.
4.43?
It was low 4.4. Yeah, it was low 4.4s. Now I want to know for sure. Can you look it up real quick, Gino?
Yeah.
Gino got that.
you.
You got them quick fingers. So I know he ran something ridiculous for his size. I also believe Quinnen Williams, elite. It took him a while to get to where he's at right now. But Quinnen Williams right now is, I believe he's the number 2 defensive tackle in the NFL in terms of stats. And people are saying Aaron Donald is better, but I think he's actually ahead of Aaron Donald.
Statistically, he's top tier.
Gardner ran a 4.41.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. I know it was lower than 4.4. I remember saying, no, it was lower than that. It was an odd number. That's why I went with 4.43. I know it was an odd number in the back end. But, bro, that's insane. Well, that's insane for a guy his size.
His agility scores was crazy, too. One of the biggest things that they talked about in his scouting report that, went kind of justified was he has the loose hips that allows him to flip and do a lot of those. I don't know if you guys peeped. Salah was talking about the gameplay they showed against the Broncos with the double move the receiver tried to put on him, and he was right there in lockstep with him.
Right.
Yep.
Both it ended up jamming him up anyway.
I'm sorry, man. I love this all 22, bro, because you get to watch the players you want to watch in the all 22 because it shows you the entire play develop. Vice just whatever the highlights are showing. I've been watching Sauce even when the ball didn't go his way. It's just fun to watch the kid because I'm like, I want to see if he gets beat ever. Even when the ball's not coming in, does he get beat? The kid doesn't get beat. I haven't found one snap where he got in terms of beat. I mean, like, there's no way he can close it because we've seen his closing speed.
Right.
I haven't found one snap all year where he wasn't there to close on the freaking play if the quarterback made the decision to go his way. That kid is elite. And I'm talking about, like, not elite in the future. No, he's elite right now. Yeah. Sauce Gardner is elite right now, bro.
So,
and I think he's elite right now.
Are those the only two?
And man, Breece Hall, maybe I'm being a fanboy with Breece. But Breece Hall was on track to go ahead and be the offensive rookie of the year and potentially an all-pro. I don't care what anybody tells me. A 6.2 freaking average per touch. That's insane. Nobody's even close to that in the NFL. I think the next closest was like 4.9 or something like that. And I want to say it's Nick Chubb. I think it's Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I think you're right.
A 6.2 per touch average is disgusting. Not only was he going to be offensive rookie of the year, I also believe he had a very good chance of just being rookie of the year, and he was going to be an all-pro. That's what I think about Breece Hall. So I do believe Breece Hall is elite. I'm gonna say it. Breece Hall is freaking elite. I think that Breece Hall is elite, and we're going to see that when he comes back next year when he's healthy. And I want to say this. Imagine Breece Hall next year with a healthy freaking Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera-Tucker. Dwayne Brown's going to still be here. Freaking George Fant, I think he's going to be gone, but I like Max Mitchell a lot. And
me too.
Let's be honest, the New York Jets are going to draft offensive linemen in the first round this year. It's going to happen.
I don't know. I'd buy into
unless we trade Well, O-lineman. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be center or.
I mean, it's going to be a late round pick, so probably. I can get it.
That's what I'm saying. We're not. I mean, the other option would be what, a safety, but other than Joyner, probably not.
I don't think we go in the first round. Like I said that about cornerback, but at least it made sense. Safety, there's nothing in Joe Douglas. Well, okay, I don't want to say nothing. They had that Matt Elam pick back in the day with the Ravens, I think his name was Matt Elam.
There's an Elam for the Bills. That was their number one.
It might be the same one, but not
Ron P. Y'all see that Ron P? Could you put that Ron P thing up real quick? Because I said the same shit watching that tape. Yeah. Yo, Sauce is doing things you didn't see Revis doing until year 3. Until year 3. And I know because I love Revis. I mean, I literally followed this man, like worship this man as like the savior for the Jets. Because let's be honest, he was when things were good. But Sauce does things now that Revis wasn't doing until year 3 in the league, bro. Bro, this kid is good. He's great. And it's going to be so fun to watch him grow with us, bro. So I'm gonna go with Sauce Gardner. I'm gonna go with freaking Quinnen Williams, and I'm gonna go with freaking Breece Hall. Okay. Y'all gonna say, what about AVT? But I just think, like, in terms of elite, I'm talking about like at top in their positions in the league. Those are my 3 guys.
Okay, Gino.
We can all say a lot of these guys have had potential, right? Wide receiver position had some potential. You know, we could say Moore, Wilson. They have potential to be those guys, right? But for me, people gave me so much shit about Sauce Gardner. Everyone gave me shit. I don't care who you are. Y'all gave me shit for me to get Sauce Gardner number 4, and you thought I was crazy because we're gonna get an edge rusher. And I'm okay, hold on.
Oh, I had him in all my mock drafts.
Hold on. Everyone wanted the edge rusher, and I'm like, don't worry, Joji's gonna take care of that, and they did. But Sauce is so different. When you look at him with Cincinnati, and when you look what he's been doing in the combine, and look what he's doing now, I'm not surprised that Ron's saying this about Sauce. I knew this shit was going to happen, and I'm happy that's happening. I'm happy he's on our team. So, yes, Sauce, number 1 in the league. Quinnen's my Alabama boy. I knew he would have to take some time. It would just have to take some time with Quinnen, and I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. So, yes, he's my number 2. I love Breece Hall, but I keep going back and forth with Breece Hall and AVT and Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson because they have that potential, like they just do. All 4 of them do. But I think you can't deny the stats. So I am going to go with Breece Hall. So those are my guys.
Just Breece and Sauce?
Breece, Sauce, and Quinnen.
Breece, Sauce, and Quinnen. All right. I have Elijah Vera-Tucker, and I think in the world we're in today, where we're saying availability is a superpower for people, and to know that if you have any player so far not named a center that goes down on your roster, and you can plug in a guy and say he's not going to give up a single sack, he's barely going to give up any pressures because I think he only allowed 3. And he's still going to be a above average to dominant force in the run game, no matter what position outside the center we plug him in. I'm going to take that because I'm willing to bet if we extrapolate the numbers and do all the ESPN statistics and all that, and we calculate what he would have did at any one of those 4 positions over 17 games, I guarantee you he's in the top 5. So to me, that's elite. Could he probably be number 1 at just staying at right guard or just staying at left guard or any one of the tackles potentially? Most likely. But I mean, if we total everything up, I would say there's, for one, guaranteed not another player in the league like him. There's been 2 other guys that have played the same amount of positions that he's done, but then they've also been destroyed at those other positions. So I will take Elijah Vera-Tucker. He's really my only player on the offensive side. I'd give an honorable mention to Breece, but it's just the fact that we haven't seen it. It's been too many times where there's a rough, patch of play, somebody hitting the rookie wall. Mike LaFleur in his press conference said it pretty well today that, the running back group just by nature ends up getting a lot of, dings and nicks and bruises and stuff. So Who knows if he would have had to sit out, because a lot of people are judging him from a statistics stand base. If we're just talking, taking a look at game film and traits and what he brought to the offense and everything, he'd 100% be elite to me. I think he's easily a top 5 running back in the league based on what he's shown us in that sample size. But ABT would be my official guy. On the defense, of course, it's going to be Quinnen Williams. I think we can all undoubtedly say he's probably the best defensive player on our team, in that front 7 anyways. I would probably give an honorable mention to Carl Lawson, but then, for me, it's DJ Reed and it's Sauce Gardner. DJ Reed has been, if I remember correctly, the more targeted player. He's made technically more plays than he has, at least until that was it the Broncos? No, it was the game before the Broncos that Sauce grabbed his interception. But irregardless, DJ Reed, and I've talked about this at length before, he doesn't have any of these prototypical, ridiculous, elite traits like a Sauce Gardner brings or a Quinnen Williams or anything like that. The man is just going out there and playing sound, fundamental, technical ball, and he's dominating dudes. Players that are 6'3", he's dominating the small, shifty guys. He's dominating the chain movers. Like, it doesn't matter. If you line somebody up against DJ Reed or Sauce Gardner right now, the best thing that you can hope for is an inaccurate throw. Because if it's a ball that gets knocked away, chances are one of them can snatch it, because Sauce Gardner still almost made a crazy grab last week. DJ Reed, we've seen him leap out of his goddamn body to grab his first interception. I go back and look at that play almost every week. Like, I thought
I'm like, how?
For a minute.
Bro, I'm like, how did he do that, bro? He flew. He had a Michael Jordan type, like he just levitated to get
different. It was different, yo. So DJ Reed, I think he's kind of been the unspoken guy, because we're super excited with just Sauce Gardner just being in his rookie year, but he's definitely leading the way in my eyes in that room.
Money well spent.
So,
money well spent.
Yeah, hell, 100. He might go down as the best free agent signing in history for the Jets.
100%. 100%. And you know what's crazy? The Buffalo Jets fan said something that cracked me up, because if DJ Reed was 6'1", 6'2", he's never a Jet. He's never a Jet. Every one of their moms coming for him. He's getting the bag. We got him for a bargain because we believe he could be cornerback 1.
Yeah.
At 5'9". Bruh, if DJ Reed was 6 foot or high or taller, I think Buffalo has a point. He's never a Jet. He's just not.
Well,
we're competing against other individuals who would be paying him significantly more, because he's right now the number 2, number 3 cornerback in the league. I know he's ahead of freaking Sauce in terms of statistics. So like he's the number 2 or number 3 in the league, because I know Sauce is number 5, and I think Surtain is the only person ahead of him, if I'm not mistaken. It's Surtain, I think it is. I'm gonna say it's Patrick Surtain.
I thought it was the guy from Eagles. What's his name? Is it Slay? Is it Slay? No. There was one more on that list. It wasn't Slay, but I remember one. I'm gonna look that up.
Because I know number. I think it's either it's Surtain, Reed, and I want to say it's Alexander.
You mean from Green Bay? From Green Bay?
Green Bay dude, yeah.
Alexander. Yeah, Alexander.
Jair Alexander. Is that right? Jair Alexander, and then it's Sauce, right? Because like Sauce is number 5. So DJ Reed, out of those guys, he's literally 3 inches shorter than the next guy on that list. Bruh, this Joe Douglas is a G. Coach, I will say this: you got to give props also to the coaching staff, because they've done an incredible job in coaching up these DBs. Because let's not pretend like freaking Michael Carter II hasn't gone ahead and made plays. Let's not pretend like freaking Brandon Echols hasn't made plays.
Yeah,
Bryce Hall last year, freaking that shouldn't have been a starter, held his own last year in the league. He'd be a starter in a lot of teams right now in the NFL if we traded Bryce Hall. Like,
people love also take stat, this year, but forget he also was like number 2 in the year, number 2 in the league last year.
Who was?
Didn't get his hands on the ball. Bryce Hall, pass deflections.
Oh yeah, correct. Yep, you're right. If only he could freaking get an interception. But if they could catch the ball, they'd be wide receivers, right? That's what they always say. Like, we should take this moment to go ahead and give a special shout out and thank you to the defensive backs coach. Who's our defensive backs coach anyway? Do we? I don't even know.
God damn it!
I'm on it.
Because that dude, we need to give him an extension because we have, and I don't think I'm exaggerating, but I think we got 4 starting DBs, cornerbacks on our roster, and their talent obviously varies all over the place. But that's incredible coaching to get these many guys on. It's Odin GVH with the save. It's Odin. Thank you, GVH. Bobby Odin, bro. I just he needs credit.
It's Marquand Manuel. Yeah, I know I wasn't tripping. Marquand Manuel, and then Odin's kind of like his backup guy.
Oh, okay. So who's the DBs coach?
So Marquand Manuel covers the DBs and the safeties, and then it's Tony Odin who's like his cornerbacks guy, kind of specifically, but he still falls just under Marquand.
Okay. Well, either way, those coaches are doing an incredible job, bro. Like, and there's no way Sauce Gardner develops this fast to where he looks like a freaking 3-4 year vet in the league without proper coaching, because he still did play in Cincinnati. Let's be honest. He still played in Cincinnati. And he's playing at an elite level in the NFL because he had all the physical and tangible traits. And now they've somehow infused years of experience into this kid in one freaking training camp. Like, that, props to the defensive backs coaching. I mean, the defense in general, the coaching staff in general, I'm going to give you props because that's an incredible aspect when you think everybody in our secondary has caught an interception.
Facts.
Think about that for a second. Everybody, how many interceptions did we have last year? I think it was like freaking.
From I want to say it was 6. It was 6 or 7, but 6 total, and only one came
I know it was
from
less than 10. And right now we're sitting at 9, I believe it is. Isn't it 9 right now? 9 interceptions.
I think so. Shit. What are we at? Hold on. And then it looks like wifey is a call-in, but we can jump into our predictions and we'll close out in a minute.
My wife just did the same thing. She just stepped out of the room like, it's time for us to go to bed. I'm like, all right. Anyway,
8.
8? Is it 8? Okay. I thought it was 9. So it's 8. Oh, that's right. They didn't count the Mosley one. They didn't count the CJ Mosley interception. Those bumps. So 8. So we're at 8 right now already. Freaking 7 games in. So like I said before, I think this team is and they're young. It's special and they're young. Freaking DJ Reed is only freaking 25, 24, somewhere around there. And we got him for the next 3 years.
25.
Yeah. He's 25 years old.
Got him for the next 3 years, bro. We've got Sauce for the next freaking 5. We've got Quentin Williams he's about to get the bag because there's no way he's walking out of this season and not get the bag. There's youth across the board. It's like you were saying earlier, DK. It's 75% youth, sophomore players and younger, right? And they're all making impact plays.
And Quentin's 24.
Next year.
Keep that fact in mind. Keep that fact in mind for these predictions you come up with, because this was another thing that I was talking about leading up to this week. The team is so young that really only CJ Mosley and like Braxton Berrios were around with us getting our ass beat for the last 7 years. So keep that in mind for your predictions.
All right. Prediction time. All right, let's go. Okay. So the New York Jets.
I mean, Mims and Ashton Davis, though. They were there for that. Brandon Mann, a little bit.
Yeah, there's more. I think
that's like the last year, though.
3 years.
That was last year. That was last year we got our asses beat by them like that.
Yeah, but no, you're talking about like that have been there throughout the time. Berrios, I mean, I would say Mims, Mann, and
I mean, players
3 years ago.
don't feel the full effects of like what the fan base is feeling right now.
But Berrios didn't. Barrios. I get the Mosley one. I understand the Mosley one, but I don't know about Barrios.
Yeah, Barrios came over.
You're referring to the defense. You're referring to the defense, right? Because they don't got freaking 50 dropped on them.
Nah, I mean, just in general, for players that have been around for longer than, let's say, 3-4 years to know, we've been getting crushed for the last 6+ seasons by the Patriots.
No,
it's only like 2 or 3 players.
Right. It's like 3 or 4 players. He's right. I thought you said like last year's just slacking 53 to freaking whatever.
Oh yeah, no. I hope they all and nobody remembers that crap.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was talking.
So then, you're right. Then in that case, you're right. It's last 3 to 4 years. Yeah, there's like maybe 3 to 4 players on this roster.
Yeah, because Barrios was with the Patriots around that time too.
He was with the Patriots. Yep, and then he was on a 2-year contract, and we re-signed him last year. So like he wasn't here 4 years ago. So like 3 years ago, yeah. So you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
What you got, Gino?
For what?
What's your prediction?
25-10 Jets.
25-10 Jets. All right. Okay. Well, y'all already know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna pretend like y'all don't know what's going on already. I'm literally batting 1,000 being wrong when it comes to these predictions.
So much for this, so and even more so.
Already know. Look, listen. I am not gonna fuck this up for us. I am not gonna be the reason that I changed. I'm worried because we changed our freaking uniform for freaking. I'm like, what are we doing? And as good as they look, I think it's a perfect freaking uniform to have as well because it's Murder Row. It looks like they're going to a funeral. I love that, but I'm a little bit iffy about them changing the freaking winning formula to include the uniform. But with that said, I'm gonna still do my part. I am not gonna go ahead and sit here and fuck this up for the fan base and for me. I want us to get this W. So I'm gonna continue batting 1,000. My prediction for this game: 27-7. I don't believe they will score more than one. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, time out. I'm doing it wrong. I got to oversell this. 27
Everything in DNA knows this is wrong.
27-7. The New York Jets lose. The Patriots win. 27-7. And the reason being is I believe the defense of the winning team is going to smack the dog shit out of the team that I just said is going to win. Wink, wink. 27-7. It's going to be a beatdown. And honestly, I hope that score is significantly higher, but I do believe the team that I said is going to lose doesn't get more than the 7 points. I would love it for it to just be a field goal.
Player of the game. Who? I'm going around the table. Who's going to be the player of the game of the Jets?
Player of the game is going to be Carl fucking Lawson. Because he's going to feast. Bro, I think Carl Lawson is going to get 4 sacks.
His interview got me goosebumps.
He was pissed, bro. If you haven't seen Carl Lawson's video or the interview from today when they were asking, watch it. Bro, that is a man who has been contemplating becoming a serial killer when it comes to targeting the New England Patriots. And it gave me goosebumps too, bro. I think Carl Lawson is going to destroy his body on Sunday to get to the quarterback.
I agree. That's mine. Carl Lawson was mine. Yeah.
Good.
Why did I have to go to you first?
Good things have come with my blowout predictions. I everything in me, literally every cell, fucking bubbling over here, says that we're gonna absolutely. This is going to be such a soul-damaging goddamn win for the Patriots that Bill Belichick might go ahead and leave a note on their press conference table as well and saying I'm no longer the head coach of the Patriots.
He's going to put his retirement papers that day. I can't win against the Jets. I don't know what the hell he's going to do.
I'm going to say I think it's a 42-0 Jets win because I'm assuming every of our team kicks their ass. A touchdown on special teams, interception return. I'm going offense finally balling out with Zach Wilson throwing a bit more. And I would say an underrated player of the game because I think we utilize him a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage and take away this quick passing. I'm going to go Jordan Whitehead.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
interesting.
That's a good one.
I like the guy. I like what
man.
he said. Sacks 10 sacks. I don't
You
trust
think
their
he's gonna be
O-line.
good?
Dude, they're hungry.
I say
honestly think
6.
We're hungry.
I
I'm going
say
10.
I was thinking between 5 to 6. 5 to 6 sacks. I think 4 of them come from Carl Lawson.
I think like 1.5 went in,
Hmm?
like maybe 3 for Lawson, and I'd figure
I
like
sound crazy, but I believe in
GMBA
this
team up for
I
you know
believe in it.
half or something.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
unless
shooting for the
Jermaine,
stars.
I don't know, bro. I mean,
I'm shooting for
go
the
ahead.
stars.
This is the place
All
to
right.
do it. If the Jets
10.
get
I
10
believe in
sacks
this team.
in one
I
game,
believe
bro.
in this team.
If they get 10 sacks
believe
in
it.
one game, man, look, Buffalo Bills, look out, because their offensive line isn't that great either.
Yeah.
They got an average offensive line. They're not that great either. And they got a lot of injuries. If the Jets can get 10 sacks in this game, Buffalo is not going to want to play us next week. They're just not. They're going to be like, fuck me, man. These guys are trying to kill people out here. Yep.
They could be concerned anyways. I don't like to get out there and try to strut his stuff running, so they should automatically be concerned.
And you already know.
I was gonna go with 2 sacks too. What Loopy said, I was thinking 2 sacks and 3 or 4. I was gonna say like 2 to 4 touchdowns for wide receivers.
Okay.
2 to 4.
Wait, 2 sacks? You mean 2 picks? You mean 2 interceptions?
Yeah,
2 picks. No. I said 10 sacks, 2 picks.
2 picks.
And 2 to 4 wide receiver touchdowns.
Okay.
Bro,
Look, running backs,
gentlemen. I'm gonna say it right
I don't know
now.
about running backs. I'm not gonna say anything about running backs. I don't know.
Look, I'm gonna say it right now. If even half of these predictions come true, half,
it's a filthy game.
I'm going to get blocked. I'm getting blocked by so many Patriots fans on Sunday. It's going to be insane because I am going to literally find Patriots fans on Twitter just to troll the shit out of them, and I'm going to be merciless. I don't even care.
I might make a social media account on Twitter for this,
bro. You're gonna have to.
What did he say? What did he say?
I might have to, finally get into the social media world.
Oh my gosh. Okay, old man. Come on, man. Come on, old man.
Y'all saw the Obrick? I know we're about to cut it
off. Oh, yeah.
Y'all saw the Obrick press conference, right?
Dude,
I'm telling you, man.
He looked like he just walked in and been like, hey, what's up with my thing on my head?
He had the black Scully on, bro.
He was ready.
Black
He was
Scully
ready
on.
for a fight.
They were like, hey.
I thought someone was going to come out of his pocket, I swear. I was like ready. I'm like, what's this dude going to do next? I'm like,
yo, he looked like he was the VP of the Sons of Anarchy, bro. And
this
all
round
he's
was
about,
goddamn Home Alone criminal.
Yeah,
right.
He's like, man, people are going to die on Sunday. I might go to jail. He might go to jail on Sunday, bro, because when your defensive coach tells you, yeah, I remember they were up freaking 40 points and they were still freaking throwing it on us. Yeah. He's like, you're right. It's my job. It was our job as defense coordinator to make sure that didn't happen. I remember. I can't wait for Sunday. That was it. That's all he said with a smile.
Yeah.
Like that serial killer, that
clean cut.
Dude does not care. He doesn't care if he goes to jail on Sunday night, bro. He already has the game plan. He knows he's murdering. He's gonna have his team ready to go murder people on Sunday. And if he goes to jail, he goes to jail. That's what I got from that press conference. I can't wait.
I think it's different. That's why I reached for this guy, because of that Obrick press conference. That's why I did more, because that just got me fired up with Lawson. That's just me.
Well, gentlemen, it's been an hour and a half. We got to roll. My wife is looking at me right now like I told her it was going to be an hour. I got to go to bed. All right.
So, take us out, Gino.
All right, let's go beat these motherfuckers on Sunday, bitch. I'm ready for this. Let's go. Y'all have a good night. Check us all of our videos out. Follow us on all social media platforms. Let's go. Jet ride.
Go Jets.